What is guys, Sarah and Skin, and I'm coming at you guys with another content of Cookie Run Kingdom. And in this video I want to do another Living Abyss comp for you guys here using the newly added Sherbet Cookie. So I've tested out Sherbet Cookie in the beginning during the review on if he can be used for the Living Abyss, and in reality it kind of didn't work out too well because of the fact that he did slow down the Living Abyss, causing the number of ooze from not appearing as much as he would if Sherbet wouldn't cast that frost debuff. However, there is a comp that you guys can use, and definitely it's going to be a lot easier to build than others, alright, because of the fact that you don't need to focus too much on the damage resist as well as the extra, HP and all of that stuff based on your stat. Alright, so let's get into it real quick. And the team is going to be the Werewolf, Brute, Sherbet, Macaron, as well as content, and the treasures are going to be the enchanted robe scroll as well as the jelly watch. So looking at the toppings here real quick, the reason why I went with this is because of the fact that I do need to have Brute as the highest HP cookie in order to be eaten by the Living Abyss. So I slapped on a peanut right there, healthy peanut, to give some extra HP. If in case your Brute does die, I recommend you guys to switch out some of these Syrian raspberry for some solid almond and allow him to get some damage resist. Alright, but you guys can see the damage resist here is only 14.3%, and you can see that the HP is going to be a lot higher than before in order for Choco Brute to be higher HP than Werewolf. Alright, and then the next one is going to be our Werewolf here. Werewolf is using 5 of the juicy apple jelly topping here in order to max out on the crit, and you can see that the attack speed as well as the cooldown is super high. You don't need to get it up to this high. I would say up to 6%, and 6% is really good, but it is going to be a lot easier for you guys to focus on this substat because of the fact that you don't have a ton of damage resist. As you can see, I only have 4.6% and I live perfectly fine. Right, in case you guys do die, that means maybe your overall kingdom stats, as in like the laboratory and all of those things, may be a lot lower than mine, so keep that in mind. But my guild relics are definitely a lot lower, and my damage can definitely be a lot higher if we do join a higher guild and have higher relic level. Alright, so keep in mind that there's a lot of difference that's going to come into play. But this is going to be my Werewolf, and it's going to be a lot lower damage resist. And the next one is going to be Macaron. Macaron is exactly the same. I would say 24% of the cooldown is going to be recommended. You could go with around 23% as well, but you don't really need damage resist here as well. Just make sure that your Macaron does not die from any of the burst damage that Living Abyss does. But majority of the time, back lane will survive without a problem. And the next one is going to be our Sherbet here. Sherbet is using 5 of the Swift Chocolate, just like our Macaron as well as content. And you can see that the cooldown is around 23.5%, but you don't need to get it that high. You need it around like maybe 20%, 19%. But you can also see that it's going to be a lot easier to get this number because of the fact that you see the damage resist is almost close to 0. Alright, I did give it a little bit extra of the crit as well as a little bit of attack speed here in order for Werewolf and Sherbet to get the enchanted robe buff, and Werewolf and Choco Brute to get the enchanted robe buff when the Brute skill is activated. Alright, and the next one is going to be content. Content is 5 Swift Chocolate as well, 24.3%. 24% is around where you want it again. The reason why I have this is because I am using the oyster toppings from the Avatar of Destiny. But you can see that the damage resist again is going to be very close to 0 for me, but it might be a little bit different for you guys depending on your stat. But here we go, guys. Let me show you guys this team in action on level 62. Alright guys, so here we go. The start is exactly going to be the same. You're going to queue Macaron, you're going to queue Cotton, and then you're going to queue Werewolf. Alright, so the start is exactly the same here. And then right after Werewolf uses his skill, you're going to spam Brute's skill, and then you're going to use Sherbet's right after, and all you need to do after that is just stare at the screen, pretty much. And then just leave it at 1.5 times speed and enjoy the scene, because Abyss is literally going to be the slowest boss in the world right now. As you can see, even at 43 seconds of the timer, Abyss used their skill literally once. Alright, and everybody else is just going to, just use their skill constantly. And the good thing about having low damages is for this team, it's possible because of the fact that Sherbet is just slowing down the amount of damage that is going to be coming to your cookies, right, based on the time. I mean, like, by now, all of our cookies would have probably been dead if Sherbet is not using the Frost debuff. But the Frost debuff definitely helps our cookies from, having that damage be so small that Cotton and Macron are able to just heal it right back up. And you can see that literally I'm not doing anything. My mouse is literally just sitting there, and all I'm doing is just staring at the screen. And there you guys go. You enjoy the 1 minute of just staring at the screen, and you get 120 million damage. Of course, the damage is based on my stats, and you can see my cookies are definitely a lot higher ascension than probably a majority of you guys who are watching the video. But this is what is possible with your cookies. And I gotta let you guys know, a user has shown me a dark account build. Sausage Land on Discord has shown me dark account instead of brute. But they were doing 90 million damage even without an ascended cookie. All right, so it is possible to reach around 90 million all the way up to 120 something million here, depending on your stat. But I think this is going to be a lot easier for a majority of the players, especially who do not have Squid Ink Magic Candy, as well as who are not able to get super high on the topping setting. So hopefully you guys can utilize this team. If you guys have Sherbet, Sherbet does not need to be 5-star promotion. You can literally have it at 0. As you can see, Sherbet is not going to be the main damage dealer, but Werewolf is going to be. So hope you guys can utilize this team. Let me know how it goes for you guys. If you guys have any questions, leave it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching though, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.